It's morphin' time!
Pterodactyl! Hi there, this is Doctor with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing your Friday Night Smackdown review, and I'm joined by none other than the host that runs the West Coast, Hollywood, Michael Chow!
Hello, I'm here. I'm back, your goofy-looking friend. Here I am for SmackDown 2.0. The draft is in effect. Here I am.
Alrighty, so as we know, SmackDown kicked off with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, I should say. And basically, he asked Heyman to hold the title for him. And he said that last night. I didn't watch Crown Jewel. Did you watch Crown Jewel, by the way?
I did. It was probably the best crown jewel I've seen, but that's not saying much. But yes.
Okay, so maybe you can give your input about what happened because I haven't watched Crown Jewel. So I could use your input. So he was saying that Paul Heyman didn't hand him the title last night when he put his hand out and said he just kind of threw it. Is that true?
Yeah, one of the better things that came out of the match is that we still didn't know whose side Paul Heyman was on. And there was a moment where the ref was knocked down because why not? That's what WWE does. And Paul Heyman, I don't know why he did. And it was actually a pretty good throw, if I were to give it some credit. He tossed the title belt, and it was landed in the middle of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Kind of like he's like, I can't choose in between you two, so here's what you want, the title. And they played tug of war with the belts.
Oh my God, they did? Is that the picture I was seeing on Twitter?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as the last time they played tug of war with the belt with their lead into WrestleMania, but yeah.
That's crazy. He basically says that Heyman isn't great at his job, but that he himself he's great.
Yeah.
And of course talking about Roman Reigns. He's saying that. So then Roman goes on to say that there's no denying that he's the best of the best and that he's carried WWE for a whole year on his back. Poor Roman, his back must hurt.
I know, 5 straight WrestleManias in the main event.
Exactly. And that he's the tribal chief and the head of the table, the greatest universal champion of all time. That is, I have to say, there's only been, a handful of universal champions. And Roman and Lesnar are the most common ones, right?
Yeah, correct, but they'll never be the first. Finn Balor.
Which that honor goes to Finn Balor, yes.
Yeah, so it goes to Finn Balor. Oh my gosh.
So then Roman, did you catch this? Roman proceeds to read off people that he smashed. He said that he smashed everybody. Of course, the list is too long, so he started off with Mania, naming Daniel Bryan, who is now Bryan Danielson in AEW. What were your thoughts on that when you heard his name?
Nothing. I mean, honestly, nothing surprises me more than when they had that. What was it? It was a long time ago. I don't know if you watched it. It was one segment they had, and they never had it again. It was Corey Graves, in the hot seat or something. He had some segment where Corey Graves would ask questions. Sami Zayn was his only guest, and he goes, "Oh, look at all these questions. I thought you would ask me a question about AEW."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was it was the only time AEW has ever been referenced in a WWE program, and they never had that stupid Corey Graves segment ever again. So, yeah.
That's probably why. So he mentions Edge, he mentions Cesaro, he mentions Finn Balor, he mentions Cena, and Brock Lesnar, saying that they all got smashed. And I have to say, after reading all those people, I can now say that I acknowledge Roman Reigns. Yes, he is the head of the table. He is a tribal chief. What about you, Michael? Do you acknowledge Roman Reigns?
I acknowledge Roman Reigns.
That's good. Right? You should acknowledge Roman Reigns.
Chat room, do you acknowledge Roman Reigns? I mean, come on.
Do you guys acknowledge Roman Reigns?
Right? Isn't he didn't he score like number 1 of the top wrestler, right?
No, he was second.
Oh, behind Kenny Omega, right?
Behind Kenny Omega.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
Yes. So, Reigns asked Heyman to read a message from Brock Lesnar, and I quote, "The moment I arrive at SmackDown, I will beat Roman Reigns senseless," unquote. And then Reigns said that he beat Lesnar so bad that now he's tweeting about it, and that he runs SmackDown in WWE. And then he asked Wichita to acknowledge him. And Steve Callahan saying that he doesn't acknowledge Roman Reigns and that Lesnar would be champion again. Okay. So he says that he basically what this segment leads to is to Lesnar destroying everybody. Now I don't know if you caught it, but the crowd was chanting, "We want Lesnar," and they were basically cheering for him. So is Lesnar the face in this whole rivalry?
I think he does. I mean, he looks different, right? He has a beard now. He has a ponytail. He's wearing jeans. He's now tweeting. Oh my gosh, babyface Lesnar is the best. He's tweeting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely. So, what were your thoughts on this entire segment?
I would say that this segment was probably the best segment of the episode. I thought it stretched a little bit too long. I think at the end we were literally in half an hour into a 2-hour show. And this is the first show after the draft. So I didn't think it particularly needed to go that long. I thought they were playing off the fact that Roman thought maybe Lesnar wasn't going to be there. So that's why he called him out. But he was there. I don't know what took Lesnar so long. But yeah, it was good. It's the typical way to write Brock Lesnar off television because he's part-time and you didn't get to it yet, but they are going to kind of kayfabe write Brock Lesnar off storyline, or at least on SmackDown. He's a free agent, so maybe he might go to Raw, maybe.
Oh, yes, because Adam Pearce did suspend Lesnar indefinitely, and he was given 2 F5s for that.
He was. He split his pants down the middle. Poor Adam Pearce. Yeah. Which, by the way, he wasn't the only one involved in the brawl. I mean, nothing happens to Roman Reigns, which he did have beef with going into the Royal Rumble. So why didn't Adam Pearce do anything about Roman Reigns? He did cheat, technically. I mean, you know.
Michael 10159 saying SmackDown was awful, 2 out of 5. Oof.
Yeah.
We'll get into our ratings later, though.
Not to jump the gun, but that ending of SmackDown was really bad. I would have given it a 2 out of 5, but I really did like this Lesnar and Roman segment. That's the only thing that kept it from being a 2 out of 5 is this Lesnar and Roman Reigns opening. Otherwise, yeah, I agree with Michael, man. That ending was awful. 2 out of 5. I'm down with 2 out of 5.
Yeah, definitely. But you know something? I know you mentioned Brock Lesnar's free status agency. You said and then he could go to Raw. I could definitely see that happening. Like, honestly, WWE always finds a loophole in things.
Yeah. I'll say after this segment, I think there's 2 things that's going to happen to Brock Lesnar. Number 1, because of his free agency, he's either going to go to Raw and challenge for the belt.
God, don't put that evil out there.
I honestly think that there would be a good match between Big E and Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar's been losing a lot now. I mean, he lost to Drew McIntyre. He lost to Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. He technically lost to Roman Reigns last night. I mean, maybe he's now putting over the other talent. So if he has a match with Big E and he puts Big E over, that'd be good. If not, then my only other thing that I think they might do with Brock is he stays off television and he returns at the Royal Rumble. He wins and he goes to get his rematch at WrestleMania because people think that's what they're going to do.
Don't give them ideas, Michael, okay? Hashtag Michael Chow Creative.
Well, no, because right now there are rumors saying that there's two matches they have planned for WrestleMania. And that's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns or Roman Reigns versus The Rock. And I don't think The Rock's going to make it to next year. And I think they would save that for LA when they're in your side of town at WrestleMania in 2 years. So
you're going to come down here for WrestleMania?
No. If it was for AEW, yeah, but not for the WWE. Sorry.
Speaking of AEW, Michael 101591 says Rampage was better than SmackDown. Swerve says we should talk Rampage if we've seen it. I did not watch Rampage. I only saw one match. And then Swerve also says they should have switched the belts in the beginning and had Brock go crazy at the end. I definitely agree with Swerve on that. They should have switched the segments around.
Yeah, I totally agree. That really, if you end the show with that huge brawl and then you have Adam Pearce suspend Brock Lesnar and Lesnar F5 Adam Pearce, that's a great way to end the show. That's really good. And the switching of the belts, that ending was awful. Absolutely awful. We'll talk about it later, but do that off camera. We don't need this switching of the belts. I went on social media. Everyone hates switching the belts on live television. No one likes it. It's very lazy, creative. Switch the belts off camera. We don't need this. So,
yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Let's see. It says Michael 101591 agrees with you and says that Lesnar will win the Royal Rumble. He also says that WWE is lazy to do unification belts and such lazy creative.
I thought that's what they were
No.
gonna do. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later because I don't want to jump the gun. But when we get to the ending, I thought that's what they were gonna do with the belts to unify it. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. So then we go backstage, and Naomi approaches Sonya Deville, and she says that she wasn't done with her and wants a rematch, but that Sonya tells her she's got bigger things to worry about than beating up Naomi. And basically, Drew McIntyre says he wants to issue an open challenge. That is the next segment, actually. It's a Drew McIntyre open challenge. And he starts to mention that it doesn't matter if someone is a Maharaja, a Viking, they deserve to get their ass beat. And then who accepts it? Sami Zayn accepts it, who, by the way, is sporting new music. What were your thoughts on Sami Zayn accepting Drew McIntyre? First of all, what were your thoughts on Drew McIntyre's open challenge, Sami Zayn accepting it, and his new music?
Yeah, it's fine to set up Drew McIntyre for something to do on SmackDown. And I don't think Sami Zayn was even in the back when he said he was going to issue an open challenge. It was fine. The match was fine. The winner who we thought was going to win. I mean, where does Drew go from here if not Roman Reigns? I mean, how do they stall Drew McIntyre?
Swarshow says he had new music. Was it good? I personally liked it. I like the new music. Kind of generic, but I don't think it suits Sami Zayn. I think it just doesn't suit him.
So I think that the music, I think it's because he's heel, right? It's different. His other music kind of seems like more of a babyface music. But I mean, I like his old music. It's a good beat. It's what he's known for. But I think they kind of want to just move it because he's heel now. And it's sad that Rey Mysterio and his son went to Raw because now we don't get a resolution to that storyline between Sami Zayn and Dominic Mysterio. I mean, we could have had.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. We should have gotten a resolution to that. But you know something? Sami Zayn has had that music for a long, long time. He's had it since he was down in NXT, right? So
Yeah,
it was time for him to have a music change.
Sure.
So then after that, we got the Xavier Woods King of the Ring coronation, which was hosted by none other than Kofi Kingston. Now, first of all, I kind of thought that, maybe there might be a heel turn. No heel turn. What were your thoughts on this segment?
I can appreciate it because Xavier Woods has been saying he wants to be king of the ring. He's been saying this for a long, long time on Up, Up, Down, Down, his YouTube channel. So I can appreciate him winning for being with the company for this long. Is he ever going to be WWE champion like Big E and Kofi Kingston? Honestly, I don't think so. So it's nice that they give him something. It's kind of like here's a consolation prize. You're never going to be world champion, but here's king of the ring, right? With this segment alone, I personally didn't like it because the entire time I'm thinking, okay, so a heel's going to come out here and break up this ceremony, right? Something's going to happen, right? Or I'm thinking either a heel's going to interrupt or Xavier's going to say, hey, they didn't announce this, but as my prize for winning King of the Ring, I also get a world title shot. So Roman, I'll be seeing you soon. Nothing happened. So he gets the crown, he gets the scepter, he gets the cape, and then they go to commercial. That's it. Nothing happened. I personally didn't like it. Yeah.
It's interesting that you bring up that was a consolation prize for Xavier Woods. And to be honest, I do have to agree with you on that. Like you said, he's never going to be WWE champion like Big E and Kofi Kingston. So they had to give him something, right? Mm-hmm. And besides, he's never complained about it. As far as I know, he's never complained about anything on social media about his position in the company. I will say, however, that little video that he released a couple of years ago that got leaked, I'm surprised they didn't get him under a lot of hot water, first of all.
No, and I was not a big fan of how, so when that thing leaked, they kind of made a joke about it, which I kind of didn't appreciate. It's like, no, the New Day did a weird backstage thing where they looked at Xavier Woods and they said, hey, they were kind of addressing the leak, but not really. I was like, nah, don't make jokes about this. Don't make jokes about it because I feel bad for Paige. Don't do this, but it is what it is. I will say this, though. For those who watch Crown Jewel, I was really expecting Finn Balor to turn heel because Finn Balor is going to Raw because of the draft, it makes perfect sense for Finn Balor to lose, then just totally loses ish, go full on heel, beat up Xavier Woods, and then they could totally move in the direction of a feud with Big E for the world title, because Big E is friends with Xavier Woods. So you have that type of connection right there. Finn Balor beat up Xavier Woods, and now he's going after Big E for the Raw World Championship. It's so easy. It's so predictable to do, but give it up to WWE Creative not to do that. So,
do they ever listen to your ideas, Michael?
No.
How many ideas have you ran by them?
Hey, when I got my release papers, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's true. So after that, we had a Becky Lynch segment backstage. I didn't catch this. Do you want to talk about it?
Which one?
A Becky Lynch segment backstage.
Yeah, okay. So they confirmed, the commentators say that we're going to get the Women's Championship title switched in a segment. Becky Lynch has this backstage thing where she talks about how that maybe it's time for Becky Two Belts to return. And this is where the intrigue comes in here. We go, oh, so has Vince McMahon finally lost interest in the women's division? I mean, he always has, but is he now going to unify the titles? You know, maybe they're going to have a unification match. I know a lot of fans who've been wanting that. They say the women's division hasn't been booked well, so just unify the titles, right? So I'm thinking Becky's saying maybe it's time for Becky Two Belts to come back. I'm thinking they're going to unify the title. But for those of you who watch SmackDown, we got what we got, and not to jump the gun, it was not good.
So after that, we had a Crown Jewel rematch in Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali.
Surprise, surprise, rematches.
No, I'm not surprised at all. You know, typical WWE. Steve Callahan says that segment was trash, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say, if they gave Xavier Woods his coronation, where's Zelina Vega? Where's the Queen of the Ring?
Well,
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Queen's Crown tournament winner.
We don't say Queen of the Ring right here, okay? It's too close to the men. I don't think so. Queen's Crown. We got to promote Crown Jewel, okay? Zelina Vega got traded to Raw, so I'm guessing they're going to do it on Raw.
I forgot.
But, you know, she's part of the women's division, so if we get nothing on Raw, don't be surprised.
Definitely. So we got a Zia Lee showcase vintage. What did you mean? But what did you mean? Like we got to see like a video package on Zia Lee?
Yeah. They just showed a video package. I hear that they're going to make her babyface, which I guess. I mean, if they're going to make her babyface, why not, you know, turn her back to her old character that she was? It looks like they're promoting her as a heel, so I'm confused, but, you know, it is what it is.
Okay. Alrighty. So after that, we got a Hit Row segment, right?
Before that, I believe we got like a huge promo train. A whole bunch of people got drafted to SmackDown, did like a small little promo package for themselves. So we got, so real fast, I'll just, from what I remember, we got Rich Holland, who said he fought on the streets, and if anyone said he was going to be on SmackDown in the future, he would agree with them. Aaliyah says she's going to give SmackDown a makeover, and she's going to make it really, really bougie. Very good. Next, your personal favorites, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, label themselves as the hottest tag team on SmackDown. I think you'll agree. And Sheamus, I forgot what he says, but we know who Sheamus is. There was no reason for him to be in this package. So, yeah. So, huge promo train. Choo-choo!
Choo-choo! All right, so we got Hit Row with Top Dollar and Swerve Scott with Ashanti Donis and B-Fab versus Local Jobbers or Enhancement Talent, as you call it. I love their names. Dustin Lawyer and Daniel Williams. We're still saying choo-choo. No matches really in lame segments. What were your thoughts on this?
It was, so I'm still on the fence about Hit Row, if I could be completely honest. Taylor, you don't watch NXT anymore. I've been watching it, and Hit Row, they still need a lot of work. I mean, Swerve Scott, he's fine. I like Swerve Scott, but
me too. I like Swerve.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we can agree on which Swerve we like here. It's not the NXT one. It's not the SmackDown one. Top Dollar, I think there's a lot of potential there. I liked them on A&E's WWE Hidden Treasure show. And was it Ashante Adonis? He's fine. He's on 205 Live a lot. And B-Fab, she needs a lot of work. Keep her out of the ring. She was only in 2 matches in NXT, and it was seriously one of the worst women's matches in a long, long time.
Swarcho says LOL.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear rumors that they want to push Top Dollar as the singles guy and book a Swerve Scott and Ashanti the Adonis as a tag team, which I don't understand. Why can't they just do it like New Day with the Freebird rule? Why can't they just rotate them around? I don't know why you had to say Top Dollar's the singles guy and Swerve Scott and Ashanti the Adonis is the tag team. Switch it up. But other than that, I mean, they're against local jobbers. What else can you say about that? They look fine. I like that move that Top Dollar did where he picked up both guys into one move. And
the Mick drop?
No, so that was a different one. It's one where Swerve Scott, he gets one in a fireman's carry, and then another guy jumps at him and he grabs both of them at the same time. So he's a bit power guy.
Swerve bringing up an excellent point. If he keeps talking about AEW, they will be fighting scrubs like they did tonight, referring to Top Dollar taking a shot at the Young Bucks. Did you hear about that?
I did, and then what was it? They fired back with the I don't know what his name is, but one of the members of the Acclaim. Yeah,
Max Caster.
Listen, it's Top Dollar just trying to push himself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and we'll have to wait and see. So
definitely, I agree with you, Michael. So then after that, we get Kyla Braxton backstage with Sonya Deville, and she basically tells him that Adam Pearce is being evaluated and that she was going to suspend Lesnar herself, and now she has to moderate the women's title exchange between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. That's not much to that segment.
No.
So then we get our 4th match of the night. Crazy that there was only 4 matches and a bunch of segments in between.
By the way, real fast, the fact that Sonya Deville says that she was going to be the one to suspend Brock Lesnar, like, if you don't think Brock Lesnar would attack a woman, then I'm sorry. Then you probably obviously forgot the one time when Brock Lesnar clotheslined Molly Holly's. All right? Brock Lesnar, he doesn't care. He would F5 you too. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
So then we got Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs versus Happy Corbin and Moss, I mean. I have to say, why are we getting this feud again? Didn't we suffer through this throughout the entire summer leading up to SummerSlam? Didn't we sit through this feud?
If anything, I thought Happy Corbin would have been the one to interrupt Xavier with Coronation. He'll be like, I was the last king of the ring. They didn't even let me in the tournament this year. You suck. I don't. Set up a tag team match between him and Madcap Moss. And jeez. And New Day. It's so simple. But these SmackDown writers, or I'm sorry, Vince, he doesn't think. So easy. The creative booking so easy. They don't do it.
So during the match, I believe Madcap Moss attacked Rick Boogs, or Rick Boogs attacked him, which in my opinion, next week, I'm calling it now, we're going to get ourselves a little tag team match now, player. Holla. I think it's going to be Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus
The Undertaker. Sorry.
No one's going one-on-one with The Undertaker here. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tag match. So our main event was the women's title exchange between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I have to say, when the New Day and the Street Profits did this, they didn't get a whole big segment. They just got like 2 minutes backstage. Right?
Why do we even need to do this? Just exchange the titles off camera. We don't need this. Who cares?
Exactly. So, like, Becky Lynch knocked Charlotte's title to the floor, right?
Oh, gosh, yes.
And then Sonya Deville asked for both titles. Right? And then I saw the Charlotte Flair propose a winner-take-all match, really, when it was, like, towards the end of the show. That wasn't going to happen.
Well, they were both in their wrestling gear. I assume they're going to do a dark match afterwards. I was like, okay. Well, so when Charlotte says, okay, let's do winner take all, right? And with only like 4 minutes left of SmackDown, I'm expecting Sonya Deville to be like, okay, well, our next pay-per-view Survivor Series, all right? We'll do Raw versus SmackDown, and the woman who wins that match will be winner take all, right? That didn't happen either. So the fact that Becky Lynch earlier in the night said it's time to be maybe the return of Becky 2 belts, led to nothing.
Exactly.
Led to nothing. To nothing. It's just to sucker us into watching the main event.
And then Sasha Banks comes out and interrupts the segment, saying that she runs SmackDown. And I have to say, we sat through this feud back in 2016, Charlotte versus Sasha. It was so back and forth. Don't get me wrong, their matches were great, and they did a lot of firsts. But all that back and forth, the potato hopping of the title, and Charlotte winning 1 week, Sasha Banks' title reigns lasting 1 week, and then her losing it to Charlotte Flair. I wanted to pull my head out. Imagine if we were on YouTube back then, Michael.
I'm just saying we have the draft because we're supposed to get new rivals, new matches, right? We're getting the same old stuff. Banks versus Charlotte, who cares? Banks versus Becky Lynch, who cares? The point of the draft is to give new opportunities and new matches. We're going to give you what you want. Same stuff. Rematches. Why are we even invested? I don't care.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the women? Were there any women drafted to SmackDown besides Naomi? Like, Naomi was in a random pointless segment backstage.
I think Shayna Baszler, they kept her off the show. Shotzi Blackheart, they kept her off the show. To keep B-Fab out of the ring, that's for sure. Who else here?
Steve Callahan says the women's division is dying. The draft meant nothing. Exactly. Where's Toni Storm?
Well, Toni Storm lost clean to Zelina Vega in the opening rounds of the Queen's Crown. She has an awful gimmick where she likes music. It's awful. They don't know what they're doing. This segment, can I just say this segment was stupid and pointless. It was awful to end the show with this. You had Becky Lynch, who said that she was going to be the return of Becky 2 belts. And Charlotte goes, okay, well then let's put both titles on the line. And when Sasha comes out, Becky exits the ring. She goes, if you want to see me on Raw, and I'll see one of you guys at Survivor Series. She gets out of the ring like a freaking wuss. And the entire time during this segment, she knocks the belt out of Charlotte's hand. And when Sonya Deville tries to collect her belt, she tosses it on the ground like when you're feeding your little brother food and he doesn't like what he sees and he tosses the food on the floor. Becky Lynch looked like a complete child. This was totally pointless. This did nothing for nobody. Who wants Banks versus Charlotte again? No one. This was an awful way to end SmackDown. I'm not interested in seeing next week. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to end the show, keep you excited to tune in next week. And it wasn't here. I could care less. It has nothing to do with the women's division. I want to make that perfectly clear because they don't write this stuff. They don't book it. You can kind of get the little instinct that Becky Lynch didn't like what she was a part of. She walked out of the ring like she was disgusting, and she's like, I can't believe I was a part of this. Gosh, this sucks. You know, I don't blame Becky Lynch at all. They don't know how to book the women's division. That crown jewel, that Queen's Crown tournament was a joke. I mean, the matches in the tournament were like less than 2 minutes per round. I mean, it was awful. It was awful. Women's division is sunk in WWE. I don't know what else to say.
See, the problem with the women's division, and I definitely agree with all your points, but the problem with the women's division is that they don't care about the women outside of the 4 horsewomen. If you're not Charlotte, if you're not Sasha, if you're not Becky, if you're not Bayley, they don't give a damn about you.
Nope.
They don't. I mean, the women's tag team division, first of all, is non-existent. The only legitimate tag team that they had in the Iconics, who, by the way, were my favorite, they split them up. And for what? No point at all to split them up. And then they paired Peyton Royce up with Lacey Evans. Totally random pairing that went nowhere. And they split up how many women tag teams do we have? They split up Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. They split up Natty and Tamina. So what? Are they gonna? Who do Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash have to face? Honestly,
no one. I thought it was a huge mistake for them to even create new tag team titles in NXT. It's like the title barely gets promoted, even though they said it was a tri-brand where that women's tag team champion can go to any brand. It was primarily kept to one show. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say. I will say this, and it might be controversial in the chat. I think WWE has the best women's division in the world. But yet I feel like, I don't know, AEW does a better job of booking it. And that might be controversial because they only do like one women's match per show on AEW. But still, it's just the way they book it on that one match on that one show of AEW is better than what WWE is doing, because at least they pass it around. WWE, it's like same matches all the time. It's Vince's type. If you're not the 4 horsewomen, you're either blonde or have a nice body, and if you're not that, you're going nowhere.
Okay, I'm gonna rebuttal your. I'm gonna not rebuttal, but I'm going to argue. Okay,
Please
here
do.
because you left out a women's division, and I feel offended by your statement. First of all, I agree. WWE does have one of the best women's division. They have the talent. They just don't know what to do with them, and they really don't care. AEW has a good women's division. They're slowly starting to build it and make stars. You know who I think has the best women's division? Impact Wrestling. If you watch Knockouts Knockdown, you had yourself 2 hours of pure women's wrestling. They had long matches, storylines made sense. It was amazing. But yeah, here we go. People sleeping on Impact again, Michael.
Well, to be fair, I forgot Impact was even a thing, and that's not a joke and a knock, I swear. But it's you know, I'll give a credit. A lot of people thought the Impact seriously would have folded like WCW. It's still going. It's still going. So mad respect to Impact. They got some good people down there.
Yes, definitely. In my opinion, Impact tops AEW and WWE in terms of their women's division.
Hey, I think they're all but confirmed, right? Once the Iconics or the Inspiration debuts in Impact, I'll watch a couple episodes.
Oh, okay. Maybe you should watch Saturday for Bound for Glory.
Yeah, to see if Braun, I can't say his name. If the Titan Adam Shear's gonna be there, right? Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess as we get ready to wrap up the show, what would you rate tonight's SmackDown? I know we got a couple of ratings in the chat.
Yeah. So I was originally, just like Michael in the chat, I was originally going to give it a 2 out of 5. But to be completely honest, the show was okay. It wasn't the worst. I expected more from it being the first show after post-draft. I really liked the Roman and Lesnar segment, but one of the main things is the ending of the show, and I really, really did not like it at all. I was close to giving it a 2 out of 5, but for the Brock and Roman segment, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. But if you say 2 out of 5, I definitely accept that too.
Steve Callahan says 2 out of 5 and 4 out of 10.
Yep.
He says here 2 out of 5, 4 out of 10. Yeah. Let me see what other ratings we have on here. No, that's all the. Again, 2 out of 5. Steve Callahan says the show was lackluster.
It was.
For me, basically, I thought the show was, and I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5, and that's just being generous. I give it a 2.5 just for the simple fact of the opening. Now, like Swarshow said in the chat, if they would have just switched those segments around, the women's title exchange and the Roman and Lesnar segments, I probably would have given it a 3.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But it's crazy how, like, just by switching those 2 segments, it would have improved the quality of the show.
I feel like, so WWE, right? Okay, so here's their issue. Number one, and this is going to sound completely brash and forward, but they think Becky Lynch is a huge ratings draw. She's not. I'm sorry. If you think Becky is going to bring in the viewers until the second hour, till the main event, she's not. And the fact that WWE feels like they had to trick their audience and have Becky Lynch say, hey, by the way, we're doing a title exchange. I'm in my wrestling gear. Maybe it might be Becky 2 belts tonight. Like, we might unify the titles tonight in an actual match. The fact they feel like they have to trick their audience into tuning into the main event is absolutely ridiculous. It just proves that they're not good with creative and that they can't creatively keep the audience interested in their show. So it's sad, but it's the truth. So.
No, that's true. That's very true. I definitely agree with you, Michael. Unfortunately, this show could have been so much better, but now before we end, I have to ask, are you excited by the season premiere Monday Night Raw?
Absolutely not. So I suggest you get Steve Callahan or Swerve to co-host that show with you, because that's going to be 3 hours of absolute trash. Absolute trash. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, you're funny.
I'm not tuning in for Raw. I mean, I tuned in for SmackDown because I was mildly curious and because I knew I was going to do your show. But other than that, Raw, I'm not watching at all. At all.
Steve Callahan's like, boo, nope, no way.
There you go. Swerve, if you can hear us, you're co-hosting with Datila on Monday because I ain't watching 3 hours of that trash.
Swerve Show says Raw quit me last week, or I would. Everybody's quitting Raw. I'm the only brave soul still continuing.
You know, I'm very surprised that, you know, we're on the road to Survivor Series. I'm surprised they didn't bring NXT in again, and why they chose not to bring in NXT since they did it like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? It should be an annual thing. And since NXT did their little refresh or rebrand with NXT 2.0, I'm very, very surprised that they didn't bring NXT back since this is the first year they've done the NXT 2.0 and bring them back for Survivor Series. So
I'm surprised at that too.
Yeah.
I really am.
I mean, they only brought it back because they were going to go head-to-head with AEW Dynamite, and they let NXT smash on Raw and SmackDown, and what did they get them? Absolutely nothing. I mean, it was one of the best Survivor Series I've seen in a long time.
Swerve saying, how dare Michael tell Steve and I to watch Raw? That's worse than cursing our mother.
Oh, come on. I got to give these people what they want, and they want Swerve. They want Steve Callahan for Raw.
Yeah. Anywho, do you have anything you want to plug and promote?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try. It's been a while. I apologize for anyone who subscribed to my channel. I've been lacking on the content. It's been a busy week, and Datila, I think you can relate, and other YouTube content creators in the chat. I still work a full-time job. You still work a full-time job. It's tough to make content after we both get off work. We're tired, and yeah. But yeah, I will say this though. I just bought a brand new Apple MacBook because they announced they were selling them. I think on last week. So yeah,
I saw your tweet. I saw your tweet about it.
I'm very looking forward to it. It costs a lot, but this is going to help me out with my channel a lot. This is a very, very old laptop I've been using for the past 7 years. It's done what it could do, but like Raw and SmackDown.
Was this the same one you were using when you were on Spreaker?
Yeah. But you know, it's a lot easier because I was just audio. Because I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get into video just like you. You know, I'm trying to get on Twitch and stuff. And with this laptop I got, I can't. This is old. It's old. It's like WWE creative events, and it's so old it needs to be put down. So there you go.
That's good news to hear, Michael. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what kind of content you come out with when you get your new laptop.
Yep. You'll be on it. I'll invite you on. You're going to see Datila appear on my YouTube channel. Everyone come on over. And I don't know. Maybe I might review Raw for just one time.
Oh, you're gonna put yourself through that?
I am. So what I'm gonna do is, sorry for promoting myself on your show.
Go ahead.
One thing I might actually do is just live reaction. So I might actually do a live watch of Raw for 3 hours. You come see me die live on the air as I watch Raw for 3 hours. So.
You should make a game out of it. How long can you last before you tap out?
I should.
Swerve says he will.
There you go. Thank you, Swerve. I'll tune into his show. I do sometimes. And yeah, we'll all support each other. As a content creator, we should all come together. So yeah.
Steve Callahan saying, wow, don't do it. Do it.
I'll make it fun. When Raw gets so bad, I'll do a prize giveaway. And
take a shot.
No, then I'll be dead. I mean, I will survive the first 10 minutes of Raw. He's flat out drunk within the first 5 minutes.
Swerve said he did a Survivor Raw, didn't make it past the hour.
Hey, respect. He made it to 1 hour.
All right, so if you want to make it fun, if you make it to 3 hours, you gotta think of something. If you make, how long can you last? If you make it 3 hours, you know what happens. If you make it 1 hour, what happens? If you make it 2 hours, what happens? You know. Yeah.
I'll do something, some type of punishment. I don't know. I'll think of something. You guys will have a good time. So
Swerve says we will see you age before our eyes.
Well, I've been watching WWE for close to 25 years, so I owe a lot of these white hairs to good old Vince. Thanks a lot.
It says the commercials are long. That's why.
Yeah, that's why it's 3 hours. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Michael, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks so much. And I guess the next time I'll be on your show is for AEW because I'm tired of reviewing all this WWE garbage. So
Yeah, definitely. If I go back to my regular schedule next week, we should definitely do Dynamite together. I would say this Saturday, but I'm going to be in Las Vegas for Bound for Glory, so that's a
hey, good for you.
Thank you.
Do you drive there?
Heck no, I'm flying.
I don't know. Oh, okay, no, because I thought isn't LA and Las Vegas kind of close?
Yeah, they're like 4 to 6 hours, but
that's not
I
so
ain't
bad.
driving there.
Yeah,
I ain't driving. Have you driven to Vegas? Oh, you're up north though, huh?
No, I have, but I've flown. But I do know some friends who've
How long
driven
is the flight
there.
for you?
For me, I think it's about 2 or 3 hours, I think. Because
Really?
for me, where I live, it's only a half an hour flight to get to LA. So to get to Las Vegas, I think it's 2 or 3 hours, I think. Could be even less. I don't know.
So you have to fly to LA and then do you fly you to Vegas?
No, it's straight there.
I thought it was a flight. Okay. Yeah, because for me, it's like 40 minutes. I'll be there in like less than an hour.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for tuning in. Michael, like he said, he'll come back on Wednesday, hopefully, if my schedule's back to normal.
No more Raw and SmackDown. Screw that show. Screw it. Vince, you piece of garbage.
So thank you guys all so much who have been watching my live streams and who tuned into my Power Rangers watch along, making it my highest viewed stream this week. Legacy of Power should come back next week, I believe on Halloween.
Ooh.
I gotta finish the season first. Michael, I'll talk to you about that right now when we get off the air.
Sure.
And then, like I said, my schedule right now, these past 2 weeks has been kind of off because I did switch jobs, but my schedule should maybe go back to normal starting Tuesday next week. But I definitely would keep you guys updated. Hopefully, starting next week, I can live tweet and go live right after the show. But like I said, definitely will keep you guys updated. I am going to Las Vegas for Bound for Glory, so I won't be doing an AEW Dynamite review. Keep an eye out for my Las Vegas vlog. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever we go live or I release a video. And I'll see you guys hopefully Monday. Bye.
Bye, guys.